It's math time once again. Oh, I got two. If only I had one more, I could juggle. Here we go. All right, y'all ready for this? Let's do one less. Woo! Hey, we did it. One less, and one less. We're back to 0. Amazing. All right, we made it through that act, but now we're ready for math time. And we are going to solve some problems together today, and I am excited that you are here with me. Are you ready? Let's do this. Okay, so for today, we're talking about one more, one less, what that means and how we can figure that out, okay? So I've got some dice here with me, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll these, and we're gonna have to figure out how much do we have all together. So we're gonna add the two numbers we see to come up with one total, and then we gotta think about what would one more be than that number, and what would one less be. So let's see if we can do it. You ready? All right, there we go. We have our roll, and we have a 6 and a 1. All right, so a couple different ways we could add these together. One, you could just count up the dots, right? So if I'm looking at these and I see, hey, we had a 6, and then if I just add one more, what is that? That's 7, right? So I'm gonna write that down and say, hey, we had 7 for our dice roll today. Okay, now let's think about what would one more be? Can I come up with one more than 7? Well, I'm starting right at 7, but I want to just be able to count on from there. So one more is going to be, you got it, it's 8. You know it is 8. Great job, everybody. So now we have 7 and 8 in our sequence, but we are missing a number still. We're missing that one less. How can we figure out what one less is? Now, some of you may be like, well, hey, I could draw out a picture and I could have 7 circles or seven objects and then take one away, because you know that one less means we're taking one away, right? Do you know what operation that uses? Subtraction. That's what subtraction is. We're taking things away or removing them. So let's think about this. If we count backwards, let's actually start with our 8. We had 8, 7, and 6. So one less than 7 would be 6. We can just go 7, take away 1 is 6. Now, we could actually write this as an equation too, because look down here. We have some equations we can write. So remember what we started with? We had 7 to begin. And so I could write it as 7 minus 1 equals, what did it give us? It gave us 6. And we've got it. Now looky there, we have a great equation and we're showing our thinking. We're writing it out. So now let's do the one for one more. Okay, so we started with 7, and if I'm just doing one more, I'm gonna add 1, right? We're adding on, and that's how we ended up with 8. And so now we're writing equations along with our thinking there. So great job. You know what? Let's do it one more time. Are you ready? So I'm going to get rid of these numbers, and while I'm doing that, I want you to think, okay, how else can I show that I am coming up with these numbers, right? Okay, so let's go back to our dice, and okay, we had a 5 and a 1 this time. And so we have, again, add those together to start, and we end up with what? 6, right? We can just add that 1 onto 6. So if I start with 6 this time, how can I come up with one less? Let's go with one less first. All right, so I'm at 6. If I take away 1, in fact, we can even use our dice. And if I take 1 away, how many do I have? Well, I still have 5, right? So that ends up with 5, and that is 1 less. And we had 5. Now, if we add 1 more on that, we know we're going to end up with 7. So 5, 6, 7. We're working on that sequence. We're working on our counting there. So great job. And in fact, before we go today, I've got one more problem for us to think through, okay? So I had some crayons earlier, and while I was playing with these crayons, my friend Cameron had some too, all right? And I had 5. Cameron had 1 more than I did. How many do we have all together? Ooh. We got to think here a little bit. So if I have 5, Cameron has 1 more than I do. Let's figure that out first, because then we can add them together. So 5 and 1 more gets us up to 6, right? Okay, but the big question was, how many do we have all together? So we have 5 and 6. We've got to add those up. And remember that we can use groups of 10 to kind of help us with this. So I know that a 5 and a 5 make 10, right? But I have a 5 and a 6. I know 6 is 1 more than 5. So if I add 1 onto my 10, I'm up to 11, and we've solved the problem. Amazing work, everybody. Great job, and keep learning, keep solving problems. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll be back again real soon.